The vast emptiness of space stretched out before the massive alien fleet. Thousands of ships, each the size of a small moon, floated in perfect formation. Their hulls gleamed with an otherworldly sheen, a testament to technology far beyond human understanding. At the center of this armada sat the flagship of the Galactic Alliance, a behemoth that dwarfed even its largest companions. On the bridge of this colossal vessel stood High Commander Zixnera, his 6 eyes narrowed as he studied the holographic display before him. His tentacles twitched with barely contained excitement as he addressed the assembled leaders of 100 different species. Esteemed colleagues, Zixnera's voice boomed through the chamber. We have finally found it. The legendary blue planet, Earth. A murmur rippled through the gathered aliens. Some clicked mandibles in anticipation. Others rubbed their scales together in a sign of nervousness. Earth had long been a subject of debate in the Galactic Alliance. Some believed it to be a myth, others a potential threat. But now, here it was, displayed in high definition for all to see. Scans indicate a primitive civilization. A bug-like alien chittered from its position near the display. They have barely left their own atmosphere. Zixnera nodded, his upper pair of eyes blinking slowly. Indeed, Krizek. Our long-range scans have detected a small fleet of what they must consider warships. He waved a tentacle, and the hologram zoomed in to show a handful of Earth vessels floating near their home planet. Laughter erupted from the gathered aliens. The Earth ships looked like toys compared to the massive vessels of the Alliance. Some of the alien leaders even had to steady themselves, their bodies shaking with mirth. They dare to call that a fleet. A reptilian creature hissed between chuckles. My youngest hatchling has more impressive bath toys. As the laughter died down, a small furry alien raised a paw. High Commander, what is our next move? Surely these humans pose no threat to us. Zixnera's mouth tentacles curled into what passed for a smile in his species. Of course not. Fluffles. But we must follow protocol. We will send an ambassador to their planet, inform them of their place in the galaxy, and offer them the choice: join us or be conquered. The assembled leaders nodded in agreement. It was a dance they had performed countless times before with other primitive species. Some joined willingly, awed by the Alliance's power. Others resisted and were swiftly brought to heel. None had ever posed a real challenge. As the Earth grew larger in their view screens, a small shuttle departed from the Alliance flagship. Inside, Ambassador Quarks adjusted his universal translator and practiced his most condescending smile. This was going to be an easy mission. Little did the Alliance know, as their shuttle approached the blue planet, that they were about to make the biggest mistake in their long, star-spanning history. For while the humans' fleet might have looked tiny and insignificant, it was merely the tip of a very large, very dangerous iceberg. In a hidden bunker deep beneath the Earth's surface, a group of human leaders watched the approaching alien armada with grim determination. General Sarah Chen, her face illuminated by the glow of multiple screens, turned to her colleagues. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment, "Operation Trojan Horse is a go. May God have mercy on their alien souls, because we sure as hell won't." As the alien ambassador's shuttle entered Earth's atmosphere, humanity prepared to teach the galaxy a lesson it would never forget. The aliens had laughed at their tiny fleet, but soon they would learn why it was never wise to underestimate humans. The stage was set. The players were in position, and the greatest conflict the galaxy had ever seen was about to begin. Ambassador Quarks stepped out of his shuttle, his tentacles quivering with barely concealed disdain. The human welcoming committee looked so small, fragile, insignificant. He towered over them, his iridescent skin shimmering in Earth's sunlight. "Greetings, primitives," Quarks said, his translator converting his clicks and whistles into English. "I come on behalf of the Galactic Alliance. We have decided to grace your world with our presence." General Sarah Chen, standing at the forefront of the human delegation, smiled politely. Her eyes, however, remained cold and calculating. "Welcome to Earth, Ambassador. We're honored by your visit. Quarks waved a tentacle dismissively. Yes, yes, as you should be. Now let's dispense with pleasantries. You have two choices: join our alliance or face annihilation. Your pitiful fleet is no match for our armada. The humans exchanged glances, their faces a mixture of concern, and was that amusement? Quarks couldn't be sure. These creatures were hard to read. Perhaps, General Chen said slowly, you'd like to reconsider that ultimatum. We're not as defenseless as you might think. Quarks laughed, a sound like grinding gears. Defenseless? No, hopelessly outmatched. Yes, your ships are toys compared to ours. Surrender now, and we'll be merciful. In orbit, High Commander Zixnera watched the exchange through Quarks's body cameras. He chuckled, all six eyes crinkling with mirth. These humans are either very brave or very stupid, he mused to his officers. Suddenly, alarms blared across the Alliance fleet. Zixnera spun around, tentacles flailing. What's happening? High Commander, a junior officer shouted. The human fleet. It's gone. Gone. Impossible. They couldn't have. Before Zixnera could finish, space itself seemed to ripple. Where once there had been empty void, now hundreds of sleek, deadly-looking human ships appeared. They had been there all along, hidden by technology the Alliance had never seen before. On Earth, General Chen's polite smile turned predatory. Ambassador Quarks, allow me to introduce you to the real Earth fleet. The ships you saw earlier. Decoys. Quarks's tentacles went limp with shock. But how? Our scans. We're fooled. Chen finished for him. You see, Ambassador, humanity has a long history of preparing for the worst. We've been ready for this day for centuries. In space, the battle had begun. Alliance ships fired their weapons, expecting easy victories. Instead, their energy beams passed harmlessly through human vessels that seemed to phase in and out of reality. Quantum flux drives, a human captain explained to her stunned crew. They can't hit what isn't fully there. The human ships darted between the lumbering Alliance vessels with impossible speed and agility. Where the aliens had expected clumsy, primitive craft, they found instead a swarm of technological marvels that ran circles around their fleet. Back on Earth, Quarks watched in horror as live feeds showed his mighty armada falling into chaos. This is impossible, he whispered. General Chen placed a hand on the ambassador's shoulder, making him flinch. No, Ambassador. This is humanity. We hoped for peace, but prepared for war. Your alliance isn't the first to underestimate us, and it probably won't be the last. In orbit, High Commander Zixnera bellowed orders, trying to rally his forces. But for every Alliance ship that managed to fire, 3 more fell to the humans' advanced weaponry. Beams of light that seemed to bend around obstacles, missiles that split into swarms of intelligent submunitions, and energy shields that adapted in real time to enemy attacks. The humans unveiled centuries of hidden technological development in a matter of minutes. Fall back. Zixnera finally ordered, his voice cracking with disbelief. All ships, emergency retreat. But retreat wasn't as simple as they'd hoped. Human ships had somehow blocked their faster-than-light drives, trapping the Alliance fleet in normal space. As the battle raged on, Ambassador Quarks looked up at General Chen, his entire worldview shattered. Why? He asked simply. Why hide all this? Chen's expression softened slightly. Because, Ambassador, we learned long ago that it's better to be underestimated. Your alliance isn't the first advanced civilization we've encountered. But we hoped, we always hope, that we'll find friends among the stars, not conquerors. As reports of alliance ships surrendering en masse came in, Chen sighed. It seems the galaxy wasn't ready for humanity. But ready or not, here we come. The tiny fleet that the aliens had laughed at was now the vanguard of a new galactic power. Humanity had stepped onto the cosmic stage, and the universe would never be the same again. High Commander Zixnera's tentacles twisted in frustration as he watched his once mighty fleet crumble before the humans' onslaught. The bridge of his flagship was in chaos, with officers shouting contradictory reports and alarms blaring from every console. "How is this possible?" Zixnera bellowed, all 6 eyes wide with disbelief. They were supposed to be primitives. A junior officer approached, trembling. "High Commander, we've detected strange energy readings from the nearby asteroid belt." Before Zixnera could respond, space itself seemed to erupt. The asteroids that had seemed like harmless space rocks suddenly came to life. They split open, revealing massive cannons and launch bays hidden within their rocky shells. "By the galactic core," Zixnera whispered, "they weaponized the asteroids." On Earth, General Chen watched the unfolding battle with grim satisfaction. Ambassador Quarks stood beside her, his tentacles drooping in shock. "You see, Ambassador," Chen explained, her voice calm despite the chaos on the screens, "we've had centuries to prepare. Every asteroid, every comet in our system, they're all part of our defense network." Orcs turned his large, multifaceted eyes towards her. "But why? Why go to such lengths?" Chen's expression hardened. "Because we knew this day would come. Humanity has always understood one fundamental truth. The universe is vast, wondrous, and incredibly dangerous. In space, the hidden weapons of the asteroid belt came to life. Beams of energy, more powerful than anything the Alliance had ever encountered, lanced out from the rocky surfaces. Alliance ships, caught completely off guard, were cut to pieces. From other asteroids, swarms of small, agile fighter craft emerged. They zipped between the lumbering Alliance vessels, striking with pinpoint accuracy at vulnerable spots that the humans had clearly studied in detail. Zixnera watched in horror as his fleet, once the pride of the Galactic Alliance, was reduced to floating debris in a matter of minutes. "Retreat," he screamed, his composure finally breaking. "All ships, full retreat." But retreat was impossible. The humans had somehow blocked their faster-than-light drives, trapping the Alliance fleet in normal space. And now, with the revealed asteroid weapons, they were surrounded. On a secure channel, Zixnera contacted Ambassador Quarks. "Ambassador, you must negotiate. Tell them we surrender. Tell them anything." Quarks, still standing in the Earth Command Center, relayed the message to General Chen. She nodded, then pressed a button on her console. The attacks ceased immediately, leaving an eerie silence in space. "Your High Commander wishes to surrender," Chen said to Quarks, her tone neutral. "We accept. But understand this, the galaxy as you knew it has changed forever." As the remnants of the Alliance fleet powered down their weapons, teams of human ships approached. But these weren't warships. They were clearly designed for rescue and medical aid. Quarks blinked in surprise. "You're helping them?" Chen nodded. "Of course. They may have come as enemies, but we won't let them die in space. That's not our way." As human rescue ships docked with damaged Alliance vessels, the true scope of Earth's preparedness became clear. The humans moved with practiced efficiency, as if they had rehearsed this very scenario countless times. In the following hours, as wounded aliens were treated in Earth hospitals and shell-shocked Alliance officers were debriefed, a new reality began to sink in. Humanity wasn't just prepared for this moment. They had been actively working towards it for generations. Zixnera, now a prisoner on his own flagship, watched as human engineers effortlessly interfaced with and improved upon Alliance technology. "How?" he asked a human technician. "How did you advance so quickly without us noticing?" The technician smiled. "We didn't advance quickly, Commander. We advanced slowly, carefully, and in secret. Every discovery, every innovation was hidden away, waiting for this day." As news of the battle spread across the galaxy, other alien civilizations watched in awe and fear. The humans, once dismissed as primitives, had defeated the mightiest fleet in the known universe. Back on Earth, General Chen stood before a global audience, her face broadcast to every screen on the planet. "People of Earth," she began, her voice steady, Today marks a new chapter in human history. We have revealed ourselves to the galaxy. The path ahead will not be easy, but make no mistake, humanity is ready. We step into the cosmic arena not as conquerors, but as guardians of our own destiny. As Chen's words echoed across Earth and beyond, the universe held its breath. The age of human obscurity was over. A new galactic order was about to begin, with humanity at its center. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Alliance headquarters buzzed with nervous energy. Representatives from 1,000 worlds huddled in small groups, their voices a cacophony of clicks, whistles, and rumbles. At the center of the room, a holographic display showed the devastating defeat of their once mighty armada at the hands of the humans. Supreme Chancellor Xylox, a being of pure energy contained within a shimmering force field, called the emergency session to order. Esteemed colleagues, their voice resonated through the chamber. We face an unprecedented crisis. The humans have not only defeated our greatest fleet, but have revealed a level of technological advancement that threatens the very foundation of our alliance. Murmurs of agreement and fear rippled through the assembled aliens. Ambassador Orcs, still shaken from his experience on Earth, stepped forward to address the gathering. Supreme Chancellor, esteemed representatives, he began, his tentacles quivering. I have seen the humans' capabilities firsthand. They are not the primitives we believe them to be. Their technology, their strategies, they've been preparing for this moment for centuries. A reptilian delegate hissed in disbelief. Impossible. How could they have hidden such advancements from our long-range scans? Before Quarks could respond, the chamber's main doors slid open. A hush fell over the crowd as a small delegation of humans entered, led by none other than General Sarah Chen. Chancellor Xylox's energy form flickered in surprise. General Chen, this is most irregular. You were not invited to this session. Chen smiled, her eyes scanning the room with calm confidence. With respect, Chancellor, we invited ourselves. It seems only fair given that you invited yourselves to our solar system. The chamber erupted in a chorus of angry shouts and accusations. Chen raised a hand, and to everyone's shock, a holographic display materialized above her palm. It showed detailed schematics of the Alliance's most secret military installations. We thought it was time to lay our cards on the table, Chen said, her voice cutting through the chaos. We've known about your alliance for decades. Every secret base, every hidden weapon cache, every confidential communication. We've been monitoring it all. The revelation sent shockwaves through the assembly. Some delegates recoiled in fear. Others demanded immediate action against the humans. Chancellor Xylox's energy form pulsed rapidly, a sign of extreme agitation. How? Xylox demanded. How is this possible? Chen's expression softened slightly. Chancellor, esteemed representatives of the Alliance, humanity has a long history of preparing for the worst while hoping for the best. When we first detected signs of alien civilizations, we knew we had to be ready for any possibility. She gestured, and the hologram changed to show Earth's history, centuries of wars, alliances, and technological leaps. Our history taught us that first contacts don't always go smoothly. So we watched, we learned, and we prepared. Every piece of alien technology that fell to Earth, every stray transmission we intercepted, we studied it all in secret. The chamber had fallen silent, all eyes and sensory organs fixed on the human delegation. Chen continued, her voice filled with conviction. We come here today not to threaten, not to dominate, but to propose a new way forward. Humanity wants peace, wants to be part of a galactic community. But we will not be subjugated, and we will not stand idly by while others decide our fate. Ambassador Quarks, finding a newfound respect for the humans, spoke up. She speaks the truth. I've seen their world. They have the power to destroy us, yet they choose restraint. Perhaps we should listen to what they have to say. Chancellor Xylox's energy form stabilized, taking on a more neutral hue. Very well, General Chen. You have our attention. What exactly are you proposing? Chen smiled, and for the first time, many in the chamber saw not a threat, but a potential ally. We propose a restructuring of the Galactic Alliance, a true democracy where every species, regardless of their technological level, has an equal voice, where exploration and mutual growth are prioritized over domination and conquest. She paused, letting her words sink in. We have much to learn from you, and dare I say, you have much to learn from us. Together, we could create something truly remarkable, a galactic civilization that stands the test of time. As Chen's words echoed through the chamber, the mood began to shift. Fear gave way to curiosity, hostility to cautious optimism. The galaxy stood on the brink of a new era, one shaped by the unexpected wisdom and power of humanity. Chancellor Xylox's form glowed brightly. An ambitious proposal, General Chen. It seems we have much to discuss. And so, in that grand hall among the stars, the future of the galaxy began to take shape, a future where humanity would play a pivotal role in shaping the destiny of countless civilizations. As the Galactic Alliance struggled to come to terms with humanity's sudden rise to prominence, a special committee was formed to understand how Earth had managed to advance so quickly without detection. The committee, composed of the brightest minds from various alien species, convened in a secure facility on a neutral planet. Dr. Zura, a blue-skinned alien with large, multifaceted eyes, led the investigation. She stood before a holographic display of Earth's history, her antennae twitching with curiosity. Colleagues, she began, her translator converting her clicks and whistles into standard galactic common. We're here to unravel the mystery of human advancement. How did a species, seemingly primitive just a few centuries ago, manage to surpass us in so many ways? The hologram shifted, showing scenes from Earth's past. Wars, scientific breakthroughs, social upheavals, all flashed by in rapid succession. A reptilian scientist named Kesk hissed thoughtfully. It seems their history is marked by constant conflict and change. Unlike our stable societies, they never had time to grow complacent. Dr. Zura nodded. Precisely. While we've enjoyed millennia of relative peace, humans have been forced to adapt and innovate constantly. The hologram zoomed in on key moments in human history: the Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution, the digital age. Each era showed a massive leap in human capabilities. A gaseous being named Cloudheart pulsed with realization. They don't advance linearly like we do. Their progress is exponential, each breakthrough building rapidly on the last. As the committee watched, they saw how humans took concepts from nature and applied them to technology, how they turned their own fictional stories into reality, how they embraced failure as a stepping stone to success. But how did they hide all this from us? Asked a crystalline entity called Prism. Our scans should have detected their advancements. The hologram shifted again, showing Earth's efforts to conceal their true capabilities. Underground cities, cloaking technologies, and misdirection on a planetary scale were revealed. Dr. Zura's antennae drooped in amazement. They unified their entire species in secret, all to prepare for this moment. It's unprecedented. Meanwhile, on Earth, General Chen was giving a tour of a once-secret facility to Ambassador Orcs. The underground complex stretched for miles, filled with technology that made the aliens' tentacles quiver with awe. This, Chen said, gesturing to a massive quantum computer, is where we cracked the encryption on your transmissions. And over there, she pointed to a hangar filled with sleek ships, is our reverse-engineered fleet, based on the scout ship that crashed in Roswell centuries ago. Quark's large eyes blinked rapidly. But why? Why go to such lengths to hide? Chen's expression turned serious. Ambassador, humanity has a saying: hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. We hoped to meet friendly aliens, but we had to be ready in case we met conquerors instead. As they walked, Chen explained how Earth had used entertainment, movies, books, and games about aliens to both prepare their population psychologically and to misdirect any watching alien eyes. You see, she continued, while your societies have been stable for millennia, ours has been in constant flux. We face existential threats from nature, from each other, throughout our history. It made us adaptable, innovative, and perhaps a bit paranoid. Back in the alien committee room, Dr. Zero was reaching a similar conclusion. Humans have turned their greatest weakness, their short lifespans, into their greatest strength. They don't have time to become set in their ways. Each new generation brings fresh perspectives, new ideas. The hologram now showed the diversity of human cultures and thought, how different approaches to the same problem often led to revolutionary solutions. Kisk's scales shimmered with understanding. They don't just tolerate dissent, they encourage it. Debate and disagreement drive their progress. Cloudheart pulsed excitedly. And look at how they share information. Their internet allows instant global communication. Ideas spread and evolve at incredible speeds. As the committee delved deeper into human history and culture, they began to understand the true source of humanity's strength. It wasn't just their technology or their preparation. It was their mindset, their ability to adapt, to think creatively, to face impossible odds with determination and even humor. Dr. Zira turned to her colleagues, her antennae quivering with a mix of excitement and trepidation. We've underestimated humans not just militarily or technologically, but fundamentally. Their advantage isn't in their weapons or their ships. It's in how they think, how they approach problems. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. They had encountered a species unlike any they had ever seen before, one that thrived on change and challenge, one that had turned the very chaos of their existence into their greatest asset. As the committee prepared their report for the Galactic Alliance, one thing became clear: the galaxy would never be the same again. The age of human innovation had begun, and the stars themselves seemed to hold their breath in anticipation of what would come next. The grand chamber of the Galactic Alliance buzzed with an energy unlike anything seen in millennia. Representatives from every corner of the known universe had gathered for what promised to be the most significant assembly in galactic history. At the center of it all stood General Sarah Chen, her posture relaxed, but her eyes sharp and alert. Chancellor Xylox's energy form pulsed with a mix of anticipation and nervousness as they called the session to order. Esteemed colleagues, their voice resonated. Today we stand at a crossroads. The humans have demonstrated power beyond our imagining, yet they come to us not as conquerors, but as potential allies. A murmur rippled through the assembled aliens. Some nodded in agreement, while others chittered nervously. The defeat of the Alliance's fleet was still fresh in everyone's mind. General Chen stepped forward, her voice calm but filled with conviction. Members of the Galactic Alliance, we come before you today not to demand, but to offer. Earth extends its hand in friendship, but make no mistake, it's a hand strong enough to defend itself if needed. She paused, letting her words sink in. We propose a restructuring of the Alliance. A true democracy where every species, regardless of their technological advancement, has an equal voice, where exploration and mutual growth are prioritized over domination and stagnation. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices. Some alien representatives cheered at the prospect of a more equitable galaxy, while others protested vehemently. A towering, tree-like being named Rutha creaked as it spoke. And why should we trust you, humans? You who hid in the shadows, deceiving us all. Chen's expression softened. We hid because we had to. Our history taught us caution. But now we're ready to step into the light, to share our knowledge and learn from you all in return. Ambassador Quarks, who had spent considerable time on Earth, floated forward on his anti-grav platform. I have seen the humans' world, he said, his tentacles waving for emphasis. They could have destroyed us, yet they chose mercy. They have much to teach us about adaptability and innovation. As the debate raged on, other voices began to speak up. Representatives from smaller, less powerful worlds saw an opportunity in the humans' proposal. Species that had long been marginalized by the Alliance's power structure now had a chance to be heard. A holographic display materialized in the center of the chamber, showing the potential benefits of human technology shared across the galaxy. Cures for diseases that had plagued alien worlds for centuries, terraforming techniques that could revitalize dying planets, and clean energy solutions that could power entire star systems without pollution. "This is what we offer," Chen said, gesturing to the display. "Not just our technology, but a new way of thinking. A galactic community where every voice matters, where diversity is our strength." Chancellor Xylox's energy form stabilized, taking on a bright, clear hue. "It is a bold proposal, General Chen. But how can we be sure this isn't just a ploy for human dominance?" Chen smiled. "A fair question, Chancellor. That's why we're proposing a transitional period. A time for all of us to learn to work together, to build trust. Earth will share its advancements gradually, and in return, we ask for knowledge from your vast history." She turned, addressing the entire chamber. "Think of what we could achieve together. The mysteries of the universe we could unravel, the challenges we could overcome. Isn't that worth taking a chance on?" As Chen spoke, the mood in the chamber began to shift. Fear and suspicion gave way to curiosity and cautious optimism. Even some of the most vocal opponents found themselves considering the possibilities. A small furry creature named Whisker chittered excitedly. "Just imagine. With human adaptability and our combined knowledge, we could solve problems that have plagued us for eons." The crystalline entity Prism chimed in, its facets glittering. "And their art, their music. Think of the cultural exchange we could have." As the discussion continued, it became clear that a new era was dawning. The old power structures of the Galactic Alliance were crumbling, replaced by something new and exciting. It wouldn't be an easy transition. Centuries of established order don't change overnight. But the seeds of a more dynamic, equitable galaxy have been planted. Chancellor Xylox called for a vote, their energy form pulsing with an intensity not seen in ages, all in favor of accepting the humans' proposal and beginning this new chapter in galactic history. The chamber fell silent as the votes were cast. Slowly, surely, a majority began to form. Species that had once been bitter enemies found themselves on the same side, united by the promise of a brighter future. As the final tally was announced, a cheer went up that seemed to shake the very stars. The Galactic Alliance had voted yes. A new age had begun. General Chen looked out at the sea of alien faces, some familiar, many still strange and wondrous. She felt the weight of history on her shoulders, but also the thrill of unlimited potential. "Thank you," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "Today, we take our first steps into a larger universe, together." As the assembly adjourned, the news spread across the galaxy at faster-than-light speeds. On countless worlds, beings of all shapes and sizes looked up at their skies with new wonder. The age of human innovation had truly begun, and the universe would never be the same. 5 years had passed since the historic vote that reshaped the Galactic Alliance. The grand space station, Unity, built through a collaboration of 100 different species, orbited a neutral star at the heart of the galaxy. It stood as a symbol of the new era, its gleaming spires and sweeping arches blending architectural styles from across the universe. Inside the station's central auditorium, beings from every corner of the galaxy gathered for the first Galactic Innovation Summit. The air buzzed with excitement and the hum of universal translators. At the center of the stage stood Dr. Zira, her blue skin shimmering under the lights. Beside her was the human scientist Dr. Aisha Patel, both ready to unveil the fruits of their joint research. Friends, colleagues, sentient beings of all kinds, Dr. Zira began, her antennae quivering with excitement. 5 years ago, we viewed humans as primitive newcomers. Today, they stand as our partners in pushing the boundaries of science and exploration. Dr. Patel stepped forward, her dark eyes twinkling. "What we're about to show you is the result of combining human creativity with the vast knowledge of the Galactic Alliance. Behold, the first prototype of the quantum fold drive. The holographic display behind them came to life, showing a ship unlike any the galaxy had seen before. Gasps and murmurs of awe rippled through the audience. This drive, Dr. Patil continued, doesn't just bend space. It folds it, allowing for near-instantaneous travel between any 2 points in the universe. The possibilities for exploration and connection are endless. As the two scientists delved into the technical details, the audience listened in rapt attention. Ideas and questions flew back and forth, with beings of all species building on each other's thoughts in real time. Meanwhile, in another part of the station, a different kind of exchange was taking place. The first Galactic Cultural Festival was in full swing, with art, music, and cuisine from thousands of worlds on display. Here, a group of ethereal beings performed a dance of light and shadow, their movements telling stories older than some stars. There, a human chef collaborated with a silicon-based life form to create dishes that tantalized taste buds across biological boundaries. In a quiet corner, Ambassador Orcs sat with General Chen, both now retired from their official duties, but still influential in galactic affairs. "Did you ever imagine it would turn out like this?" Orcs asked, his tentacles gesturing at the vibrant scene around them. Chen smiled, the lines around her eyes deepening. "Honestly, we hoped, but we could never be sure. The fact that it's worked out this well, it's beyond our wildest dreams." Quark's large eyes blinked thoughtfully. "You humans never cease to amaze me. You've changed the galaxy more in 5 years than we did in 5 millennia." "Change isn't always easy," Chen admitted. "There have been challenges, resistances. But look around you. We're overcoming them together." Their conversation was interrupted by a commotion near the main viewport. A crowd had gathered, pointing excitedly at something in space. Chen and Quarks made their way over, curiosity piqued. Through the massive window, they saw a fleet of ships emerging from hyperspace. But these weren't warships or traders. They were exploration vessels, their hulls bearing the insignia of a joint human-alien expedition. "The Perseus mission returns," someone in the crowd exclaimed. The Perseus mission had been the first major joint expedition into uncharted space, crewed by humans and aliens working side by side. As the ships docked with Unity Station, the excitement was palpable. Hours later, in a packed press conference, the mission's leaders shared their findings. They spoke of new worlds discovered, of phenomena that defied known physics, and of potential signs of other intelligent life far beyond the known galaxy. But more than the discoveries themselves, what struck everyone was how the team spoke of their experiences. Humans and aliens alike described how they had learned from each other, how the diversity of perspectives had allowed them to overcome challenges no single species could have faced alone. As the conference ended, Chancellor Xylox, now serving a final term under the new democratic system, addressed the assembled beings. 5 years ago, their energy form pulsed warmly. We stood at a crossroads. We chose to embrace change, to welcome humanity not as subordinates or superiors, but as equals and partners. Today, we see the wisdom of that choice. A cheer went up, rippling through the station and across subspace channels to countless worlds. Later that night, as Unity Station rotated slowly against a backdrop of stars, General Chen stood at a viewport, lost in thought. Ambassador Quarks joined her, his hover platform humming softly. "Penny for your thoughts?" he asked, using a human phrase he'd grown fond of. Chen chuckled. "Just thinking about the future. We've come so far, but there's still so much to explore, so much to learn." Quarks's tentacles waved in agreement. "Indeed. And to think, it all started because we underestimated a tiny fleet." As they shared a laugh, a bright streak of light caught their attention. The prototype ship with the quantum fold drive shot past the station, disappearing in a flash of blue light as it began its first test flight. Chen and Quarks watched in silence, both feeling the weight of the moment. Humanity had ascended, yes, but not alone. They had brought the entire galaxy with them, ushering in an age of exploration and cooperation unlike anything the universe had ever seen. As the stars twinkled in the vast expanse of space, one thing was clear: the greatest adventures were yet to come.